So there's this video going around, and it's kind of going a little bit viral in the commentary community, talking about this guy who's low-key just being super racist and unhinged, talking about Batman. Now, for some context, there's a new, comic series that has come out called Absolute Batman, and it's not just Batman, it's a whole universe called the Absolute Universe, changing characters and doing a bunch of stuff differently. And as you'll learn quickly, we got this anti-woke grifter here, and let's react.
Quick disclaimer before I start. This isn't some rage bait video. I'm not lying to get your attention. I'm telling you my opinion, which I believe is the truth. That this, A, is not Batman, and B, is an absolute dumpster fire. This comic is a disgrace to creators like Frank Miller, Jeff Loeb. This isn't the Batman they envisioned. I know it's a different take on the character, but what this does ruins the character entirely.
So I think fresh new takes are always good for certain characters, especially really old characters, and I think it can make things fun and interesting. Him mentioning Frank Miller, though, is funny because Frank Miller's style of Batman writing kind of goes against everything Batman stands for, so
in every way possible. What if a bodybuilder engineer dude became Batman? Yeah, that's not badass. I'm sorry. I don't find that badass. I don't find that different, unique, entertaining. It's just cringe. There's people all across the internet saying that this comic is badass, it's awesome. This comic literally reads like those edgy 90s comics that every single person makes fun of.
Alright, I'm gonna stop you there, big sir, mister. That guy on the left there that he just showed is Spawn. He's one of the most popular and almost consistently picked or sought after by a lot of people as one of the greatest anti-heroes in all of fiction, and this guy's like, oh, he's edgy and cringe.
It's like a 12-year-old's fan fiction of Batman. The comic has everything. It has horrible, edgy dialogue. It has some pretty gay character design.
I don't know how having a jawline is gay, but you'll quickly understand that this is basically his whole dialogue. This is every kind of word that he knows, and the only way he knows how to insult people.
And if you can believe it, they managed to race swap another redhead from comic books. They managed to jump in there and turn them black.
I mean, I can understand why, so many gingers and black people are being race swapped. Someone who's dyslexic could say ginger as. But in all seriousness, I don't think race swapping, when race isn't a huge key to the character, is much of a problem. And we're in a modern society where we live with many different cultures and people, so it kind of, reflects how the real world actually looks like.
And turn them black, and turn them black, and turn them black, and turn them black. So after reading Absolute Batman, I think we can all agree that Scott Snyder can't really write comic books, correct? This is a fact, proven with every single page of this garbage. There's an abundance of absolutely insane creative decisions happening here. Who, in their right mind, greenlit Alfred's look? What is the haircut? What is the beard? Why is he an MI6 mercenary with grenade launchers and sniper rifles? This is straight up cringe, I'm sorry.
I think it's actually pretty cool. Nothing that he showed was uncool, and I think it's actually sweet as crap that Alfred is this badass now, because he's always low-key been one, but now he looks like one.
Well, I thought Alfred was bad enough, but then we get to Bruce Wayne, the main man himself. What do you think when I say Bruce Wayne? You think the suave, charming rich guy, which in Batman Year One was originally based off of Gregory Peck, but now in this comic, they're going for something a little different. Let's just take a little glance at what they thought Bruce Wayne was. So this is the page where Bruce Wayne is first introduced. We see him hitting a bag. He looks exactly like Bruce Wayne has for the last 100 years, saying some badass Batman stuff. No fear, no pain. And then out of nowhere, this big hulking transgender comes up behind him and is like, hey bro, I think it's my turn now, and just starts blowing the punching bag across the room with his big fat arms. Now the character design going on here, he has the haircut of some fat emo transgender kid.
Yeah, this guy is 12 because his only insults are, oh, you're trans, you're gay, oh, your haircut's so gay, you look like a lesbian emo.
And that is Bruce Wayne. I'm not joking. That is Batman. Then we actually start getting into the backstory of Bruce Wayne. His parents weren't killed coming down that alleyway and they got mugged. No, instead he's at a zoo with his dad or something, and his dad gets shot. And the idea for Batman comes from the fact that he's in a zoo and he goes into some bat-like exhibit. I really don't know what's going on here. I don't know what was being smoked in the writer's room, but clearly this comic is all over the place. It's a mess. And apparently Bruce Wayne isn't some rich guy anymore. Instead, he's a working class citizen, working all these different construction jobs, learning engineering. So he's this super genius, and his mother is still alive. So there's no motive to fight that you're an orphan, your two parents were shot in front of you, and you'll never stop on your crusade against crime. Instead, your dad got shot in a zoo somewhere, your mother is still alive, and now you're just working construction jobs.
He's acting like it's not tough or hard or a lot when one parent dies. Like, his whole thing, you know, being an orphan is part of it, but having the parents dead, right, avenging them, he can still avenge his father. He can still do that. Like, that doesn't really make him worse. And him being like a regular person makes him more relatable. The whole part about Batman and the whole intrigue is that he's a human, that he pushes humans to their limits and pushes boundaries. Like, that's one of the best parts about Batman, and this just makes him even more compelling and makes it even more interesting that he's not some billionaire, he's a regular dude. Like, it's almost like saying you can be Batman.
It's Batman? I don't really know what's going on here. I was shocked reading it. He's walking around like an emo kid, brooding. I don't know what's going on with Batman these last few years, but people need to learn that his hair doesn't come down over his eyes, he doesn't listen to Nirvana, and he's not gay.
He'd never been any of those. I'm really confused at this.
And now, finally, we get onto the biggest offense of the entire story. Commissioner Jim Gordon is giving a speech to Gotham, and he actually looks like Jim Gordon. He's white, he has the grey hair, he has the mustache. Then the terribly ridden villains enter, the party animals, and they just start shooting up the place. Then that's when we get the glimpse of the best part of the entire story. Barbara Gordon. She peeks her head in, just one panel I'm pretty sure, and she's black. She is black. They did it again. Another redhead character just changed to black. Iris West, Wally West. Are we serious? We're just making them black for no reason and expecting people not to notice, or expecting people to tolerate it. But I won't, and I hope everybody else won't either.
I shouldn't tolerate black people, and neither should you. Dude legit sounds like he's probably a Klan member. Like, the race swaps have nothing to do with the character. Like, if the race swap legitimately completely changed the character, then I can see the problem. But when there's absolutely no, like, actual changes happening to the character, like, they still act the same, still, you know, are the exact same, there's no problems.
Black Barbara Gordon just snuck her way in. Why? Think about it from a writing standpoint. She didn't even need to show up in the story. If she did, she should have looked the way she always has. I'm getting sick of this. Can we just start changing black characters to white? Can Black Panther be white in the next comic, please? It doesn't work that way because black people need to be represented. Wait, they've always been represented, and you're just shoving them into stories for no reason now. You're swapping people out to make them black because you want to make up for all those years of not being represented. It's a lie, and it's a scam.
He literally brings up the worst possible example. Oh, why can't Black Panther? Black Panther legitimately depends on his blackness. Like, the whole thing is about him being African, you know, the whole African thing, being their own tribe and doing their own thing and being independent and having their blackness. That's a, you know, big part of it. You know, I don't think he has a clue of what he's talking about. And if you didn't think it could get worse, just wait for his response to this entire video. Like, you got a lot of backlash from this, and listen.
We're sending a massive amount of people over to my channel with his insane mental breakdowns.
Like, it's so weird how, like, people who just hate certain things, you just slap the label woke into it.
I'm retarded? Thanks, bro. It's always cool to see some support from the disabled community. When you say I'm scared of black people, newsflash, you illiterate troglodyte. Everybody is.
The best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away.
You can't stop looting and burning countries to the ground. Next time you're driving to work and you're enjoying your Marxist Batman comic, try not to get robbed or shot by your fellow brothers. To create an argument, you actually have to make some valid points. You can't just dance around throwing your arms up in the air, making weird noises like you did. It makes you look like a Neanderthal who hasn't picked up a comic except Watchmen in his entire life. Stay in your own lane and go back to anime, you low IQ mental retard. I'm telling you my opinion, which I believe is the truth.
Yeah, you were probably sitting there just like this, and we're just, just sitting there, because I know I was when I first saw this. Like, that's insane stuff to say, and it's crazy work. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, that's just insane. And I'm gonna leave the video off just like that. Leave you guys just hanging with that to settle in your stomach. Hope you have a great day. And yeah, subscribe, I guess.